Some googly eyes. We got a Kha'Zix here for Luyen, as he will be taking
it's a fun story.
Very aggressive picks.
I think that pretty much in every household, there has to be the person that deals with bugs, even if they're not really the one that wants to. I was that person for my own family household. Everyone else didn't like spiders. I'm like, I
in
became
Texas,
the person.
Everybody has to do that. Everybody,
that's particularly in that support role as well. People know how to play this champion. Have the flash on Chocho though. Might be able to show that skill right now on this Dragon.
Yeah, the Pop Blossom coming through will not connect on the care. They're in the pit fighting those Strive flashes. Dragon about 1,000 health here. LWX stepping forward. RA will actually be moving out of the pit. Luckily, nobody dies. And first round this way, about 2,500 health left. The eye pops on the back, and RA stepping up here. Shallow, who wants to make sure nothing can happen. And now RA are just left out. Pop Blossom might not be enough here. You get a huge CC chain, but Strive bites the dust afterwards. Assume has made it to the fight now, and you've got to be careful of when that Blade Caller is going to be used, as they already get Shallow, who's down. That's one kill to Assume. There's the Feather Storm trying to find the plays. Assume is pretty big, but they're picking off the RA members one at a time. RA still fighting. Get 2 kills for their ADC.
And they head themselves back to base and not contest.
Yeah, the Yumu is also completed for Leon. A little bit of a spike there for FPX. Still waiting on completion for Strive, but RA looking at top side now, bringing a lot of members. Wait, there's 2 feathers here. Shallow, who's going to say. And here we go with the Wombo combo. Strive will pick up a kill for RA, and the top side will lose a couple plates. FPX are hovering, but a TP from RA means that they want to be proactive, and that's exactly what we were asking of them. Now they're trying to catch out LWX, and they do just that. A kill goes to Xiaoshu. The grand entrance not there just yet, but you have that quickness to charm them up, and Chocho getting a little bit low, has the burn on him. RA just chases and come back here. I want to flash, get the kill. Luyen gets himself on the board.
The bug bites back. It's another way to kind of stabilize the map, shorten the map, I guess, or make it a little bit more narrow in some ways. The Steel going to mid lane,
not having that Blade Caller. Assume is going to get focused here. Luyen has come in to see if they can get a trade back, but it will be a kill going to LWX and a tower in the side one. FPX positioning from this mid lane, but they've also brought Xiaoshu down here just to make sure no TP play could come in.
You do have the Vi ultimate back off of cooldown, but maybe not still one. Yeah, luckily this Rare Atom has a longer half-life than that. Manages to get away with that one, although he was below half.
You got a little bit of fire. I want to see Luyen continue to be proactive, right? The second item spike here for him, but as well as Assume is big, and they're trying to be that proactive self. Get the big quickness on LWX. He gets the Gale Force out though, but he's still locked down on the back line. You got a big Pop Blossom from Strive to buy time for the rest of RA to turn around. You still got backline access though, and Care is ripping him apart. Luyen might not be able to get away from him. Hacker does make it away from the duo of RA. All the carries are worse for wear, but Xiaoshu and Shallow, who still very tanky. Care not having the damage just yet.
Carries die so early. Those resets really come in clutch.
Oh, we're right back to fighting, though. RA have picked out Hacker. And speaking of momentum, they were posturing straight for the Baron.
FPX, they have to fight.
And I'm looking at Chocho to get a big combo here. They're looking for that Moonlight Visual for pepper damage. Chocho with his tippers is going to be huge. He goes into the pit. The Baron secured, and as well as the fight, RA ripping him a new one here, as it's Assume who is able to pick off Shallow, who in LWX.
Oh,
you're just caught out, buddy. Everything is closing in on you, and there's a nasty, nasty bug man coming to get the gold. And that is RA, who just push up the middle right here with a fully freshed up Baron buff.
Yeah, not all mistakes are created equal. If you make a mistake as this first Baron spawns of the game, particularly in the LPL, you do not get. This is not in with that yet. Some of these pro players also not necessarily completely keyed in. Dragon going to go over as well. FPX just standing, seeing if they can get anything there. Psylocke's coming through.
Unstoppable onslaught onto a couple members here. The Wombo combo, man! You just can't escape it! I was not expecting FPX to be caught out here, but they stayed a little too long, and finally a big Pop Blossom. Feather ends up getting that kill, but it is 4 quick ones over to RA.
Absolute disaster from FPX. Clutched the moment, did Rare Atom just as the Baron spawned. They go into jet stacks on the newly built Medjais from Care, who just comes back out onto the map. That's another dip into the hole as well. FPX, despite having some good skirmishes, advantage coming out of this Baron power play. Assume going to have multiple people blocking for him, using their bodies as wards. They push in towards this top tower.
And I actually really appreciate this
Not even on these side lanes now.
He's just giving so much pressure. Hacker tried to go to respond, but because of that lack of presence, they're just going to go through mid lane. And yes, they will catch out Lien, which is a big catch out. Chocho picks up the kill. They won't actually get the inhib here. Assume will burn the claim.
But FPX, they get one pick, and that's it. You know, LWX blows the ghost, blows that Gale Force, and now they're getting collapsed.
No way! No way! Poor LWX, man. That's just a feels bad. All right, Salahu trying to make up for it. They do end up punishing Assume, so both ADCs caught out quickly. Pop Blossom right back on a 3. The 3 root as well. The Wombo combos just don't stop, and there's a big bouncy castle outside of FPX's house.
Since they found that opportunistic fight to get themselves that first Baron of the game, they have not looked back. Right, where are we going to with this? This would be Soul for Rare Atom. FPX can't afford to give it to him.
FPX coming back from the dead, not down, not out just yet. They may be bloodied, but they are willing to give you a fight as they're going to try to flip this dragon. They do not want to give over that Mountain Soul we mentioned earlier. As Care's over on the back of the pit, they're going to find the engage on the Hacker. The charm doesn't connect there, but they got a lot of damage down. LWX engaged on the back. Oh my God! Strive obliterates the backline of FPX, and everyone else is just gone. They did get the dragon in the end. The TP comes out to save Care's life, but Xiaolahu should just go down. He hops over the wall. Nobody can follow with Assume and Xiaoshu.
Oh, blink and you miss it. Strive taking control of the game once again. Xiaolahu. Not really much you can do there, buddy. Care alone against the Baron buff minions. No chance of wave clearing out this one. Rare Atom clutch game 1 with that crucial Baron take in that 20-minute mark. We'll send this to a game 1 victory.
FPX, you got to check the label on the expiration date on your bug spray. It didn't work very well. I'm sure they'll come back. Maybe they'll just use a flamethrower next time as they are the Phoenix, but it is.
I think Gragas survives a whole like dive with a Nico roaming up and a Jax being in that side lane as well. You might just have to kind of bite that bullet though and just hope that Hacker and Care can get control of this mid-jungle matchup and save you from just being like 300 gold on cooldown.
Try not be a cask bot, but that is already pulled, my friend, and LWX is going to burn that flash preemptively. Dredgelight's not going to connect. Nobody gets him. What? The shot goes wide. Is that a Stormtrooper?
Aside from FPX, but now FPX really on point about how they can test this fight on bot side.
Yeah,
Another hook misses,
this
though.
is a bad fight from RA. They were on a ward and everybody came. FPX did not shy away from that whatsoever. They still have a very healthy tower. And
haven't been ulted just yet. The overforce hit. Be careful with this. Leon can fly back in.
They're TPing. They're bringing Kara in here as well. They're going to TP Strive too. The fight's going to start off with Feather going down. They do get one back, and guess who gets excited? It's Assume. Strive stepping forward, but can't hit the chain route there, as well as another TP coming in for FPX. There's a Pop Blossom on Chocho, but they're going to leave Strive for death here. Care with the Spirit Rush, though, might be able to connect something. The cast comes out as Salah, who showed up in the nick of time, and Hacker gets a kill for FPX. It's 4-1 now, baby.
But particularly when it's into a lot of Merc threads, it does lose a bit more value again. How much value can you get out of this,
Paranoia comes out. They actually might be able to find the TP. They don't see it because of the Paranoia. Now they're going to get the delayed engagement. Xiaoshu on the flank with the big Pop Blossom from Strive 2. The combo's just too neat, but LWX fires right back with that Inferno Moonlight Vigil. And now he's got the chakras, but he gets stopped by the Flame Chompers. It's an ADC tussle, and it's back
into the game if they can replicate that again, though. FPX. Last game, they were the ones kind of wanting to split up, take skirmishes, getting more gold over to Shallow, over to Xiaoshu, rather. Man, what do you have like the Xiao at the start of it? My first thought is Xiaohu, then there's Xiaohu on one side, then Xiaoshu, and I'm like, okay, he's getting the gold.
Master of the melee. You tell me, at me on Twitter. Which was better?
Oh my god, this is what happens if you let an AI take over a minion, by the way. It's like ChatGPT, but for long. And you don't manage to see it out. Now Leon gets to have a crack at bot side.
Okay, they got the Paranoia pop. Xiaoshu was like, let's go. I want to fight you now with my jungler. Let's see what happens. The Mega Death Rocket across the table, and Xiaoshu gets the kill. Third of the game for this Jax, who will be so in. They're like chopping up. They're like, do we go for it? Do we want to fight? The big purple orbs right there, guys. They look like
there we go.
Feather that wants to fight as we're going in. Strive on the back with 3-man Pop Blossom, and Xiaoshu's coming in as well. FPX, man, you just gotta find an in, but there is a stone cold wall in front of you from Rare Atom.
Again, around the 20+ minute mark, they don't have a smite to deal with. They might have to try and go for, again, a very desperate contest.
This is a little bit desperate. They don't have many ways in here, but a little bit of damage, and it will be secured in the end by Lian.
Might even have themselves another Pop Blossom to bring to the fight.
FPX just trying to pull the trigger on something at this point. Xiaoshu's in the back of the pit. Feather has been so key.
Here we go.
And guess who he gets onto? It's LWX. He's goes golden, but Pop Blossom doesn't actually connect onto multiple members, but that root does! And it's immediate evisceration for the rest of FPX. A double kill for Assume, and Care's gonna not last very much.
Those of you that don't know, I think it had like 5.1 atrocities committed per act. You're seeing that in every team fight right now because LWX is not a glimpse of what the FLS could do earlier in the game, but Rare Atom get themselves to that soul point. They pick up themselves even more gold beyond this point.
Spike comes through from the rest of Strive and RA. The fact that it wasn't even the Pop Blossom, but just the double root, it's just nuts to me. But it's now FPX on the front foot. The Moonlight Vigil comes through, but doesn't really connect there. They got so much CC to lock down Assume, though, and that is what this composition does.
Okay, so bit of a slap back from FPX. Importantly so, Assume caught out of position, no flash, no Gale Force for that play. Gets you at least take some gold back off of that huge Baron play, which came through. Chocho now looking
for his own flank on the other side. You immediately see FPX is scared. Actually gonna try to go in on Xiaoshu. Here's a big Blossom. 3 members, and immediately 2 are gone. FPX has not been reborn. They've been turned into a cremation idol, and it's smashed into the ground. It is RA that has streamed forward. This has been at least now 1.5 weeks coming for RA. They've been so close to finishing.
Popcorn chicken out of a Phoenix, but Rare Atom are proving us wrong, teaching us something new today, and they're teaching us how they play around the crucial moments beyond the 20-minute mark, taking 2 inhibitors. It's not going to be the end of the game. Well, I think Canada's always in meta at that point. I think it was a bit OP. Maybe I have to find that one out. That's a big engage
there. They do find a nice little pick, and the Wombo combo again comes alive for FPX. They are down, but they are not out, and that's been consistently the case in this series. They will not stop fighting. A lot of time here if they get this Baron. Gonna bring Care from behind. No jungler for RA.
Flash.
That is really big, and Xiaoshu going in now as well. Trying to find the big Pop Blossom on all 5 members! And it's a 2v5 that RA take all day! Well, FPX do get the Baron buff, and LWX picks off Xiaoshu. It's a TP now coming through, but he does have the empowered back. They're looking for Xiaohu here. Feather has made it, but there's 2 of him, and he's on the backside. The TP's not fast enough, and Lian shuts him down. RA will look to push up the gut and end FPX.
On to LWX, who is quietly, maybe slightly louder after a couple of plays like this, found himself teleport safe distance away from a counter-strike. So Rare Atom, they have themselves the advantage on at least starting an objective at this point.
They're
going
going
in. Engage.
They're going to get the catch out here. The Everfrost plus the Moonlight Vigil, but Lian, he's trying to find LWX. He's just too tanky. Lian didn't have that way in. Everybody's going in one at a time for RA. They're trying to find the backline access from Hacker, and now Assume stepping up. Xiaoshu has been so big here, and Assume survives on the side. It's a one catch. No, he's dead! The big pop-off Gale Force from LWX, and Lian still has no way into this fight.
In this game. Now FPX going to get themselves onto that Baron. Elder is spawning right now, though. It's a potential of a clap.
Paranoia is available. He's going to pop it. They got the Spirit Rush already used by Care. Xiaoshu's trying to find a big counter-strike. Lian buying a lot of time. Counter-strike not going to connect on anybody. Big engage from Feather, but look at the combo coming out from FPX. You don't have the damage just yet, but now FPX are falling off, and the GA is going to be popped from LWX. This is a scrappy one, but a Pop Blossom makes the difference again! And Strive flexes all over FPX!
Rare Atom just won this series without an AD carry in the final fight, styling eventually on FPX.
It just takes one. That little minion is your undoing every time. And he wasn't even a minion that time. It's just a Pop Blossom in the middle of your team. The amount of multi-man combos that RA have landed. It got a little bit sketchy. It got a little bit sweaty. but RA will claim their first series win of the summer split in the LPL, and what a way to do it over FPX.
Took them maybe longer than they would have hoped in that second game. Did feel like after that first Baron went down in that second game, we were going to see a rerun of what happened in that game one. But still, a win is a win.